Hey, what's going on, Hammer fam? Welcome back to HammeredHead. Today we're looking at Dengar from the Vintage Collection. Now this is the re-release that we got last year. If I read the community right, not many people were super excited about this guy, but I don't really have a good Dengar, so I'll take him. Obviously we got an iconic image on the card back there. Looks really good. VC01A, so if you got VC01, you can get the little alternate here. Dengar. Crude and slovenly, Dengar was nonetheless an effective bounty hunter. While some hunters prided themselves on finesse and style, Dengar preferred firepower and destruction. And there he is, preferring firepower and destruction. Let's open him up. Alright, here he is out of the packaging. Right off the bat, you can tell he's definitely an older figure, but he still checks out, I think. Not up to today's Vintage Collection standards, but I think for a repack, it's passable. The face looks pretty good. Some good detailing on the scars. I like the general head wrap, and his whole overall outfit looks pretty decent. He does grasp his weapon pretty well, which is cool. So it's not too difficult to pose him. The articulation is definitely the most outdated part of this, which we'll get into later. But overall, he's got a pretty good paint scheme. Great color choices. This backpack is a really cool accessory here. I think that looks awesome on him, and it does pop off, so you can show him with just his like flight suit or whatever on there, and it's not, there's no like giant gaping hole in the back, so from a distance you can't even really tell that he's missing it. So overall appearance wise, I think this guy's definitely pretty good for a re-release. He's got 3 accessories if you want to count the backpack as one of them, and I do think it is the best one of them. It's painted, it's got like a bunch of random stuff hanging off of it. Overall, I think it's a really interesting sculpt, and it fits really well onto his back. Once you plug that in, it's very stable, and it fits him pretty decently. And oh, actually really there's 4 accessories because this belt pops off. But he looks kind of stupid with it off, so I would just keep that on. And then he gets 2 blasters. He got a little pistol, which does have a little paint on it, which is pretty cool. Little trigger hole there, and it fits very well into his holster, which is always good. I hate it when characters come with a pistol and no holster, so it's great that he has it, and it's got a nice little paint scheme on it there. And then the heavy blaster is the last one, which again, he does hold well, and it's got this nice little grip up front, so it's really easy to fit his hands around it. So yeah, I think overall the accessories here are pretty dope. And again, I do think that the articulation is probably the worst part of this figure. It's not atrocious, but it definitely shows its age. So he's got a ball joint head, not a whole lot of movement up and down. And definitely not a lot side to side either, but it could be worse. And then he's got these sort of hinged shoulders here, which move okay for what they are. Get a little over 90 degrees there. And then the elbows get about 90 degrees. There are also these swivel things, or excuse me, hinges. And then swivel wrists. He does have a ball joint waist, but then he's only got swivel hips. The knees go maybe a little less than 90 on those hinges. And then these hinge ankles. So it's definitely not the worst articulation out there, but you are going to struggle a little bit trying to pose him in some more ornate poses. So there you go. That's Vintage Collection famed bounty hunter Dengar as a re-release. Again, I know he wasn't a fan favorite in terms of re-releases, but you know, re-release is a part of the line, especially nowadays. So if we got to get him one way or another, this isn't too bad of a character to get. Overall, I'm satisfied with this figure. He could definitely be redone, but I don't think he necessarily needs to. I think he looks good enough for at least my purposes. But let me know what you think in the comments. As always, thank you to my Patreon subscribers. Be sure to follow on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Check out the Patreon page, and don't forget, stay hammered.